And welcome everyone to semi-final night at St James's Park. We have the holders against the serial winners. Doku slides it in and put home by Antoine Semenyo. 1-0. Semenyo's done it again.
Joy short-lived.
Thrust home by Ryan Cherki in the dying seconds. The holders' grip on the trophy has loosened here tonight. City in the driving seat.
They've got it all to do tomorrow. Have Newcastle at the Etihad Stadium. We're on air from 7:30. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Manchester City with 1 foot maybe in the final already. Here at the Emirates, they are cranking it up. Kickoff just minutes away. Arsenal 3-2 up from that first leg. We'll be ready to go next.
Bet365 are putting the
payout offer comes as standard.
Why would you build your bet anywhere else?
Download the app and see where it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Glory, glory, down for Bromley.
Gorilla Waterproofing proudly sponsors the Carabao Cup on Sky.
Big night in the title race in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts are at St Mirren tonight. If they win that on Sky Sports Football, they will go 9 clear at the top. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Celtic and Rangers aren't in action until tomorrow. From an Arsenal point of view, Jamie, an early goal would help settle things, even though they have the lead.
Absolutely, they'd take that right now. But the longer the game goes on, Paul mentioned it earlier on, if it stays 0-0, it keeps Chelsea in the game. They haven't got to really rush. They can bring on Cole Palmer at some point, so that they will try to just keep as much pressure on Arsenal as they possibly can. It has the makings of a classic, this, because it's so hard to predict. It could go either way, but you'd have to just edge towards Arsenal.
It has the makings at the start of a really interesting tactical battle as they try and come to terms with each other, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You just hope that Chelsea don't end up playing 5 at the back. If they get pinned back, Gusto and Cucurella end up playing, and it's a 5 at the back. And then I don't think Chelsea will get out then. So for me, I think it'll be very important. I think, yeah, it is a very, very difficult game to call. But if Arsenal play to the best of their ability, I hope that Chelsea haven't got it wrong playing 3 at the back. And this, I know they've come back against Napoli and they've come back against West Ham. They're not Arsenal, and that will be the problem.
That is a different prospect, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, obviously, when you play Arsenal, it's the most obvious statement, but you've got to be great on all the details. You have to handle set pieces really well. They didn't do that in the first leg for the first goal. They've got to make sure they'll get up against people, they stop runners. Can you stop Gabriel getting that first contact? If you do that and you don't concede a goal from a set piece, in open play, you can certainly cause Arsenal problems. But you've got to make sure you keep yourself in the game and make sure you get all those details correct.
The light show continues as the teams come out here at the Emirates. We are ready to go. Arsenal against Chelsea. Arsenal 3-2 up from that first leg. Let's join Gary Neville, and first of all, good evening to Peter Drury.
Mark, good evening. Thank you. It is a fabulous sight. And for this excitable Arsenal crowd, yet one more nervous night on the edge of something special. Arsenal a goal up at home and overdue a Wembley day out. But Chelsea have stared down a couple of deficits this last week, and they fancy it. This is beautifully set. So, in pursuit of Arsenal's first major final for 6 years, Mikel Arteta is not minded to compromise. He does remain loyal to Kepa as his domestic cup keeper. Otherwise, it's full on. Jurrien Timber played left back in the first leg. Right tonight with Piero Hincapié coming in. Martin Zubimendi's goal at the Bridge 3 weeks back is currently the critical one. Martin Odegaard is declared unfit. Also no Marino, and since Saturday no Saka. So a big chance here for Eberechi Eze. And that first leg goal for Victor Gyökeres was the first of 4 he has now scored in his last 6 games. Jesus, Havertz, Trossard, the offensive alternatives on the bench. For Liam Rosenior as Chelsea boss, it's 6 wins in 7 and now the chance to overturn his only defeat. Robert Sanchez inherited the League Cup gloves at the semi-final stage. In defence, the personnel exists to play a back 3. Wesley Fofana, a game changer when he came on Saturday. So assuming that formation, it's Gusto and Cucurella from either side of a midfield, including Andre Santos, the only outfield player on either side to have started every game in the competition so far. And having dovetailed so well for the second half against West Ham, Liam Delap and João Pedro are partnered again. All of which means that Garnacho, whose goals from the bench kept this tie alive, starts on the bench again with Cole Palmer and the returning Esteval. And Gary, you're into the big business in midfield.
Yeah, the 2 best midfields in the land at this moment in time out there on the pitch, Declan Rice and Zubimendi. See there how important they are to Arsenal and everything that happens. Declan Rice, a massive force, particularly in big games like this. Zubimendi, the controlling part of that Arsenal midfield. And then for Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, equally as good and certainly the best part of the Chelsea team. It maybe has weaknesses up top, it maybe has weaknesses at the back, but in midfield they can be really dominant, and you can see how important they are as well. So I'm really looking forward to that midfield battle tonight.
Well, Thomas Tuchel was the last Chelsea manager to shake hands with Mikel Arteta and then beat him. That was 4.5 years ago. Arteta is to this point the only man to have beaten Liam Rosenior in his new role. One of them will be suited and booted at Wembley 47 days from now. Back for Arsenal. Arsenal so beset by semi-final trauma in recent years, but with a lead and with a crowd on their side, or Chelsea from behind to reach the final for the 3rd time in 5 years. Right on edge, beautifully poised, terrific atmosphere, fabulous noise. Arsenal kicking in the first half towards the famous clock.
Yeah, and he's chucking it down, which I think has been for a number of hours now, so I think it'll add to this cup tie.
Timber from right back. As mentioned, he played the first leg from the left, but Nketiah comes in at left full back tonight, and here's Rice from between the regular centre-halves.
Chelsea with 5 at the back. It might be slightly different than we thought up front. Let's let it settle down.
Carried by João Pedro, who has been a big difference maker over the course of the last week. Timber, Zubimendi, who's had his moments too.
Yeah, I think Chelsea may have gone with Santos and Caicedo in midfield as a 2. And then if you just see where Enzo Fernandez is there now, I think he's to the left. João Pedro in the middle and then Delap to the right. Don't come to a conclusion too quickly, but I often see Delap to the right and Enzo Fernandez to the left in forward positions. We'll see how it plays out. You see that 2 there in midfield behind, not quite as we thought.
We're in Timber. Okay. And Rice, Thomas in arms now. Capier.
My initial thoughts when I see something like this is Paul Merson mentioned about Chelsea's back 5 getting pushed back, but what could happen here is that Enzo Fernandez and Delap, look where they are, they could get really pushed back by Arsenal's left and right backs. If I was Arsenal's left and right back, I'd be flying forward and making them run.
Emre Senior in his press conference yesterday talked plenty about taking it deep, staying in the game, appreciating that they do come here a goal behind, and the second half seemed to be the principal part, insofar as he was public about it, the principal part of his game plan.
Yeah, he mentioned that in his team talk, that he was asked about Cole Palmer. He said, yeah, but I want to think about the second half of the game. It's quite unusual for a manager to talk like that before a match.
More times than not, as Strasbourg coach, he did play 3 centre-halves, not all the time, but certainly that was the majority formation. Hull City was a back 4-man. Adaptability is the word.
I just don't see Delap on the right as a... might prove me wrong, or whack a couple in the back of the net and embarrass me, but I just don't see it personally as a sort of natural fit.
Stopped high by Gabriel. His throw, Gusto at right wing back, behind Liam Delap. Not Reece James, who, like Pedro Neto, it's a ticklish back pass from Carabao. Pedro Neto doesn't make the Chelsea playing party tonight. Picked off by Cucurella. Taken up by Enzo Fernandez with João Pedro through the middle. Andre Santos. Santos on either side has started now all 5 games in the season. Contrasting runs actually. Arsenal relatively serene, unfussy, only significantly inconvenienced by Mark Gahey's 95th minute equaliser in the quarter-final a couple of days before Christmas. Chelsea, for their part, trailed briefly at Lincoln. They certainly wobbled at Wolves in that 7-goal game. Played with a bit of fire at Cardiff and maybe just about to stay alive in the first leg of the semi-final, coming here therefore with just a narrow deficit to attempt to make up. Gabriel has found Martinelli, preferred on that side to Trossard this evening. Martinelli plays it in. Steered away for Chelsea by Chalobah. It's come here to Timber. And Timber kept on driving. So he threw himself in the way. Sanchez cleared from in front of Gyökeres. Referee this evening, and there was a very early clash between Timber and Cucurella, I think, to which he's referring.
Yeah, just pulled him back, he's let it go, the referee.
Whilst on the referee, your checklist on the regulations. Yes, we do have VAR. Yes, if aggregate scores are level, we go to extra time before penalties. Saliba clearing up, still Gerrard dispatched a shot of sorts, but it was wide.
Yeah, a couple of uncomfortable early touches for Saliba, a pass that was awkward, and this touch now just lets Delap in, gives him a sniff.
for those like me who struggle to keep up with the modern world, away goals have long since ceased to be a thing. Eze, Subimendi, Capier with Martinelli herring past him. It's the only selectorial compromise that Arsenal make for a domestic cup tie of this sort. And he is barely that, of course, twice a finalist in this competition for Chelsea. Caicedo, Fernandes, Correa, who had a nervy game against West Ham as an orthodox left-back at the weekend.
Yeah, he's got a good chance to get back in quickly. It's a tough first half, but he's out there again. Correa alongside him, so should be more supported than he was at the weekend.
Came off the bench and made a big difference in that Premier League game. Fernandes, João Pedro.
Great touch.
Just wants half a yard to João Pedro. It's from Cucurella.
That's a foul. After Cucurella. I think it's a foul. I don't know why the referee hasn't given it. No real advantage for Chelsea, even though they've still got the ball.
Madueke and Timber have both had a piece of the Chelsea left wing back inside the first 10 minutes. Pedro with Saliba very, very tight.
It's good again from João Pedro. He's had a couple of difficult balls played into him with Saliba. Couldn't get any tighter to him. He's withstood the pressure and he's won a foul.
Up to Gabriel. And bullishly asked to have a free kick. Leading off Fernandes, who had a mate in Cucurella. Chelsea, who along with Manchester City have been the form club in this competition over the last decade plus, looking to make their third final in 5 years. They're fourth in 8, they're fifth in 12. Arsenal, on the other hand, so often in recent years having been this competition's bridesmaids, if that. frequently beaten semi-finalists and occasionally beaten finalists. There's a push by Delapin and Capier.
I haven't seen too much attacking yet from either team, but Messina will be relatively happy that his team have settled in the game.
He was in the Hull side, which lost from 2-0 up the FA Cup final in 2014 to Arsenal, including Mikel Arteta. Their semi-final that year against Sheffield United was a real roller coaster. They trailed 0-1, they trailed 2-1, and then they won 5-3, did Steve Bruce's Hull, a decade back. And it's bump into him and an overpowering Arsenal team that beat them in the final.
Yet to enter the game at all.
William Saliba for Arsenal.
Chelsea will be happy if Arsenal keep playing at this tempo and keep moving it around in their own half of the pitch. They've not really got going yet with any sort of passing through the lines. So slow on it.
Towards Martinelli, sweet little touch from Everett Chiese. And tackled by Martinelli. Caicedo. Just thumps it long, too long. Rice. Good out for Martinelli. He can drive up for Fana. Capier outside of him. Timber. Weke wants to take on Cucurella. And he squeezed the corner out of him.
Yeah, and he won't mind that, and neither with Arsenal. The Chelsea manager in his interview before the game alluded to set pieces as every manager does when they play here. He's picked 3 big centre-backs, he's picked 2 forwards that can head it. He's got Caicedo, Cucurella as well. And they're all going to have to compete.
Well, those are numbers with which we are all very familiar now. Remember, it was a very basic Ben White header.
Oh, that's a cheeky tactic.
Chelsea have left 3 forward here to alter the dynamic around this corner.
Yeah, Chelsea have just run out with 3 players, and Arsenal all of a sudden have had to react. Quite like that. Like an ambush.
Some fascinating variety around an Arsenal corner, not of their own making.
They don't half look like they've not got a lot of defenders in there, though.
Weke takes. Squeezed up and over from Capier.
Yeah, those 3 are getting back pretty sharpish. It just looked bare, didn't it? And you think Arsenal are going to score here. just Fofana has got his arm up high, and it hits that arm. We do have VAR, but no, they've done it again.
Well, this is a gripping game of cat and mouse. Madueke to the near post. Retrieved by Eze. He got it back from Madueke. And now in Capier! Sanchez got across, and it bounced off Gabriel and behind.
Oh, Gabriel just couldn't react in time. He's on his heels, wasn't expecting it. Yeah, cat and mouse at these corners, and Hincapié hits a good one. It's a strong hand from Sanchez, but he doesn't push it wide. If it goes right back into the path of Gabriel, he just can't work his feet out.
Well, his set-piece routine is potentially disrupted here by some inventive manoeuvrings from Chelsea and Liam Rossinha.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, whether it works or not in the long term, let's see, but he's doing something very different, the Chelsea coach. If you couldn't see it, effectively what's happened is they're all going back into the box, and then 3 of them are just charging up the pitch, and Arsenal are going to put 3 back with them very quickly.
Of course, everyone now is behind the ball for a Declan Rice free kick. Flung in by Rice. Leave it out here for Cucurella. It's gone longer here for Martinelli. And Martinelli can run at Caicedo and set it back behind Eze.
I think he just has to put that across the goal. Gyökeres is charging in on Sanchez. He does really well, Martinelli, because he makes a spring from midfield. He goes past Caicedo, and Chelsea's centre-backs had pushed in on that side. But I just think it's one of them where you don't even think about it. There's the touch, and then play it across. In between Caicedo and the goalkeeper. Yeah, that one.
This is what befell not Cucurella on halfway. Wrestling with Zubimendi.
Yeah.
Troubled by Carabao. It's coming back via Martinelli, who can chase it himself. Carabao threw in his head.
Really good.
Keep it from Saliba.
Really impressed with him in this first 20 minutes, João Pedro, up against Saliba. He's got him at the moment in the one-on-one duel of having that ball played up to him. He was second favourite there. And he just holds it up and then gets his shirt pulled. Gets Chelsea up the pitch again.
Enzo Fernandez, Correa, face to face with Timber. Hato, Fofana. Arsenal supporters massively invested in this. It is, of course, just one of 4 prizes that they covet between now and May. The first one is the most important one, and this can be the first one. First winning this competition in 1993. Saliba ahead of João Pedro this time, and Gabriel can clear. Arsenal have lost 7 semi-finals and 3 finals.
One shot for either team. The Hincapié one that Sanchez saved, and then the Delap half chance that came to him quickly. Not too much being created. You see, not much happening in either box.
Towed it away from a predatory Delap. Hincapié, bit of space ahead of Zubimendi.
Right turn back. Just fire it out to Madueke. He's up against Hato in this channel with Cucurella forward.
Nice. Over the way to Santos, shifted quickly on for Delap. Caicedo, Fernandez. This is Carabao. This is Caicedo again. Santos, Fernandez. Gusto. Delap, and it's looped up off Declan Rice and behind. And Chelsea get the chance to throw a punch now. Enzo Fernandez is going across to take it. Those who played the full 2 hours the last time Chelsea made the League Cup final. Epic against Liverpool 2 years ago. Fernandez flat. And they'll get another go. Enzo Fernandez again, away by Gabriel. Back in Trevor Chalobah.
Chelsea getting back into the shape really quickly.
For a moment it looked as though Cucurella's challenge was going to be allowed to go, but Peter Banks has whistled.
Just tap him from behind. So short. But Chelsea getting back in so quickly, and Arsenal are not able to spring off quickly enough.
Timber wants to take the free kick. Enzo Fernandez doesn't want to retreat. Chiese, whose first goal as an Arsenal player was the first goal of this Arsenal run in the Carabao Cup at Port Vale in September.
He made out before the game, we were seeing that he was going to play the long game, and that, we talked about before, he was mentioning the second half, and he is playing to nullify Arsenal and just kill this game in the first half. They're managing it pretty well.
Santos taken off it by Zubimendi. Rice on the charge. Santos tackling back, and it's a very good effect. And he's got a free kick.
Frustration building in the ground that they're not seeing the action they thought they were coming to see.
Fofana, João Pedro, Augusto. Fofana just about gets away with it in front of Martinelli. So does Gusto, because Martinelli pushed him. Pedro from wide. Delap from wider. Malo Gusto. To Martinelli, who had Fofana at his back. And half an hour has passed goallessly. Rice, for whom a first major domestic final in his splendid career is, you might well argue, overdue.
Talk about getting your striker in the game. Xhaka said he had no touches, I think, after about 10 minutes. He's 30 minutes in with one touch. Which may be more of a reflection upon Arsenal in respect of how sideways they've been in their game. They've just taken a lot of the easy options, and Chelsea have done well. They've got back into a 5-4-1 shape to defend. They've made it difficult for them.
Timber. Okay, to try and turn up the wick. By Santos. Pedro has 2 red shirts to deal with. He goes over and sets the free kick. Offensive options on the Arsenal bench are plentiful. certainly plentiful in terms of their combined expertise and experience. Gabriel Jesus is, of course, a natural number 9. Leandro Trossard's there too, and Kai Havertz. Rice. Madueke. Madueke's last League Cup goal was in the semi-final 2 years ago for Chelsea. 6 against Middlesbrough. 2 as part of the team beaten by Liverpool in the 2024 final. Came on for Conor Gallagher on extra time at Wembley. Martinelli could be in here. Goal side of Gusto. Martinelli spinning and Gusto getting back.
Well, I was just thinking, there's just not any urgency at all from Arsenal, but all of a sudden, he makes a run, Martinelli, just dips inside Gusto, and then you think, can he get his shot off with his right? But he swivels back onto his left, and Gusto just has the opportunity through that delay just to readjust.
Caicedo. Always aware of Delap. And now Arsenal can counter. Santos stood his ground. And the flag is up before Nkapie continues.
Yeah, Gyökeres first chance, really, to do anything going forward. Pretty speculative. Quite a number of Chelsea players in front of him.
Scorer of the second goal of the first leg for Arsenal, Victor Gyökeres. The last 2 games against Kairat and at Leeds at the weekend. 3 in his last 4, 4 in his last 6. A sequence that began with that first leg at Stamford Bridge. Zubimendi, Saliba. Saliba's pass seen easily by Santos, moved on quickly by João Pedro, and then flicked away without complication by Gabriel. So it's a bit cornered. He found a way out via Caicedo. Santos. Enzo Fernandez on the half turn. And up at Delap. Face to face with Gabriel. Support here from Wesley Fofana.
Chelsea have set up, they've pretty much got what they planned to get, I think, out of this game 36 minutes in. They've not created anything going forward, and yet they've looked solid, relatively in control from a defensive perspective.
Delap's caught on it. Nkapie. Martinelli ahead of him. Fofana lengthening his stride.
For Arsenal, you just can't help thinking that the psyche of being a goal in front has impacted them in a sense that they're playing like they're a goal in front and they're okay. Do you think that can bring danger as the game wears on? I think that's Liam Rossini's plan.
I suppose the interesting part, if it goes on like this, Gary, into the second half, deep into the second half, will be the moment that Chelsea choose to change gear.
Yeah, it's the moment that Chelsea blink and he'll have that planned. I mean, it was never going to be pretty going forward for Chelsea, really, with the system that they've played, 5 at the back. Delap on that right-hand side, Enzo Fernandez on the left, but they're functional, professional, if not really showing anything in an attacking sense.
Fofana, Delap, Gusto, Delap again. Gabriel. Actually 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. One of them is right at the other end, so needn't matter as Martinelli progresses. Scampers away from Caicedo, so smoothly across.
He's been good for Fana.
Gusto, this is where the second ball might become a complication. It's just come into your shot there. The referee's had to stop it. First cheer of the night from João Pedro from the Arsenal section.
Premier League game, I'd be having a proper whinge now, but the fact that we know something's got to happen is sort of keeping me quite calm.
Keep your powder dry, Gary.
It's actually building up quite nicely.
Sanchez, by Gabriel. Of course, there's always the joy of a knockout cup tie. João Pedro, Delap. There's a sense in which you can choose to enjoy the way Chelsea are managing the game. It's smart.
Yeah, there is something about it that's sort of walking Arsenal towards a cliff edge in some ways. It's a little bit clever. It feels a little bit like they're sort of, and there you go. It's like a bit like a European away tie where the away team go and get that away goal and they think, ooh, and everyone in the ground, and can Cucurella and co shock this ground.
If from a situation just like this, Chelsea were to get the first goal of the night, then this place gets twitchy. Enzo Fernandez, good fist from Kepa. Kept alive by Santos, but Madueke can see it out.
Now for Chelsea, João Pedro, Fofana have been really good in the half. The back one up front.
Premier League darts is back on our screens this Thursday. It comes from the Newcastle Arena. First night of action includes Luke the Nuke the world champ against Van Veen. Luke Coolhan Humphreys, who I think got a 9-darter last week against Gerwyn Price. Stephen the Bullet Bunting against Michael van Gerwen. Let's go Bunting mental. This Thursday.
I think you'll also find that Salford are playing away at Accrington Stanley at that time on Thursday night. I don't know why we're doing a darts promo, Peter.
All available, make your choice. Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez! Good save, Kepa. Gusto. Gusto. Oh, flags up.
We saw a Sanchez save at the other end 20 odd minutes ago, which was something similar. Good hit from Enzo Fernandez. Strong hand. Bit unorthodox.
But he kept it out for the man who was, of course, the melodramatic match winner at Stamford Bridge on Saturday evening. João Pedro's challenge was penalised.
Yeah, it's been pretty unspectacular from a football perspective in this first half. I think that Arsenal have got more work to do than Chelsea right now. I think this is what Chelsea wanted. It's exactly as they planned it. I think for Arsenal, they just need to be careful.
Oh, they say can steal in here. Just couldn't get a toe on it.
There's a couple of things with Arsenal. They're not playing quickly enough. And
Sado went to ground.
the young centre forwards watching want to know how to hold the ball up against two strong centre-backs. They should watch the clips of João Pedro in this first half. It's been a masterclass, really. It's very difficult to not let those two centre-halves dominate you, but he's been brilliant.
A minute to add at the end of the first half here.
But I think for Arsenal, for me, I'd want more from the two full-backs. I think when you're playing against this type of system, you've got Enzo Fernandez defending on this side and Delap on that side. To me, they should be really driving forward and dominating the game and asking a lot of those two. They've not done anywhere near enough.
Pedro. Pato. Sifted through for Cucurella. Half time, and just perhaps at this stage it's Liam Rossinha who's getting his way. This cagey, canny way of going about things, the occasional threat, particularly perhaps from João Pedro. Joker has struggled to get into it. It's largely risk-free football, which in its own curious way is building the jeopardy. But at half-time at the Emirates, it remains Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0, and Arsenal lead the semi-final 3-2 on aggregate.
Goalless at the break. Arsenal still lead 3-2 on aggregate. It's a slow burner.
It's been a slow burner. It's been very tactical. You've seen, we tried to predict what system Chelsea would play. There's been times when it's been a 3-5-2. There's been times when it's been 6 at the back. There's been other times when you've seen Hato, one of the centre-backs, is the highest man at the pitch. what Chelsea are trying to do is just stay in this game, and they're hoping then they can bring on Palmer, Esteval for the last half an hour, maybe even at half-time, and then try to force the issue. But it's been really difficult. It's not been an easy watch, and I think probably Mikel Arteta will be delighted as well to a certain extent.
Do you view it from a Chelsea point of view as it's working at the moment, or would you be frustrated by it?
I watch this space.
Yeah.
I think, I think he is, because if it goes out and this plan carries on, brings Palmer and Esteval on and Chelsea win the game, we'll be lauding Liam. We'll be going, unbelievable what he's done. But if Chelsea do not go through after that first 45 minutes, the fans will be going mental, because that's 45 minutes wasted. They haven't laid a glove on Arsenal. They have to win the game. Arsenal don't have to do anything.
Do you think Arsenal are playing within themselves for that very reason?
Yeah, it's like they're just playing. They're playing chess against each other, and they're both waiting. They just pass the ball, and they press, and then they pass.
But I don't think Arsenal look comfortable still with this, though, Paul.
No,
I don't think they're not playing forward. There's no real fluidity about the game.
Arsenal don't have to. Sooner or later they will have to bring Palmer on and Esteval on. But they will want to go that way. They want to come back this way, and then Arsenal will get into the game. It's a dangerous game at the moment.
Shay Given over the weekend said he doesn't know why people don't put more players, leave them on the halfway line. Shay and Liam were both under Wayne Rooney at Derby, and actually Chelsea did put 3 players on.
I like this plan, but I don't like the 3 players that are running up. I think if you put, as an example, Enzo Fernandez up there, my problem with that is you can see the man with his hands up in the air, that's Gabriel. Marking him is Enzo Fernandez, or blocking him, whatever way you want to look. But you've got 10 yards there. Whatever way you look at it, you are still marking him, and you've got to try and stop him, who's the best at attacking the ball in world football. It works to a certain extent, because what this does is negate too much traffic, and that's what Arsenal want to create. They want to create chaos with these corners. This delivery comes in. I think you're better off just looking for Gabriel. He doesn't. He plays it into a congested area.
Would you prefer, say, Fernandez to have done what, say, Liam Delap
or Hato Fofana and who's the other one that's gone up there?
No, Gusto Delap and Hato.
And so I would probably say to one of them. But they've obviously got a plan trying to do it. But I just feel that if they get the right delivery on Gabriel's head, I think Enzo Fernandez has no chance.
But it has been something different. It has maybe given Arsenal something to think about at set pieces. But they are comfortable at the moment. Very few chances around here at the Emirates. It's goalless, and as things stand, Arsenal are on their way to Wembley. How long does Liam Rossini give it then before he makes changes?
We're just watching him warm up there, Mark. I don't think it'd be the next sort of 10 minutes or so, but he'd be delighted. But I think, listen, as a spectacle, it's been a tough watch. But this last half hour, things will happen. They have to take risks, Chelsea. They have to get players on the pitch that are going to win you the match. Like Mer says, it might end up being an absolute masterclass at the end of it. If it doesn't, then we'll all go, he wasted 45 minutes. But I think Liam Rossini in that first half will be absolutely delighted. This is the plan that he wanted. This is exactly the situation that he can bring his big guns on, and they'll hopefully make the difference.
And from an Arsenal point of view, they're comfortable at the moment, but they don't want to be caught off guard, do they, by a Chelsea goal, i.e. they then have to get themselves going.
Yeah, but at the same time, they'll be sitting here thinking, we've won the first leg. Chelsea have got to come here and have a go at us. They haven't had a go yet. And, Chelsea will be sitting there. And even if they score one, it still goes to extra time. It's not like Arsenal sitting on edge and it's like an away goal situation. And if Arsenal letting a goal in the last minute, they're out the cup. It's all to do. Chelsea have got to chase the game. For me, this is a dangerous game what Chelsea are playing.
I think also for Arsenal, the last 20 minutes, there's no doubt if it stays 0-0, they will get anxious, the crowd. They're desperate, and you can see it in their performance against Liverpool, against Manchester United, and then they might start to take less risk. Because in the first half, I've hardly seen anyone play the ball forward. There's not been enough risk in their play, not got the ball into Eze enough. So I can't imagine that Mikel Arteta would be delighted in terms of the performance. He'd be delighted with the scoreline so far. But this last half hour, anything could still happen.
To take us through it, back to Gary and Peter.
Yeah, Mark, so who blinks? That is where we're at. That looks like a poker face that you wouldn't necessarily want to come up against. He has his plan. The way in which he executes it from now on in is a matter for great curiosity. Do Chelsea want to make this a 45-minute contest or a 20-minute contest? Do they take it right to the wire and grab an equaliser at his expense? Or does Arteta's 11, Gary, have the wherewithal, the sense that the nous to cling on or even add to their lead?
Yeah, I'm torn a little bit listening to sort of both Jamie and Merce at half-time. Merce feels that it's a dangerous game for Chelsea. Jamie feels a bit more like it might be a little bit more dangerous for Arsenal. I have to say I'm edging it more towards at the moment from Arsenal's perspective. Having just been here before, they're at home. I always think play a football match like you're losing, not like you're sort of winning and you sit back. I think you invite pressure on. Arsenal haven't played football in that first half, and it is difficult to turn it around from that point. I think you get into a lull. So let's see how Chelsea go about it now, whether they can become a little bit more attacking.
Pedro's shot is skewed away, and Kepa couldn't keep it from going behind for a very prompt second half corner. He's been their massive point of difference over the last week, Pedro. And for those in search of entertainment, there's a promising statistic. Arsenal and Chelsea in the big 5 European leagues have scored more second half goals than anybody else. Enzo Fernandez, and Kepa wasn't sure, and it's squirted wide for a goal kick. There's a VAR penalty query.
Well, Saliba and João Pedro have been battling the whole way through that first half. If you just look at them there, they're having a grab of each other. I just don't think VAR will be able to make too much of that. But they were at it in the corners in the first half.
Checked and cleared, considered by the VAR mutual holding.
Arsenal have got to start playing. I mean, no urgency at all in that first half.
We did, as the folks were saying, see quite a lot of purposeful warming up at half-time, not least involving Estevao. There's Jose, here's Martinelli. And across for Chelsea, got Trevor Chalobah. Estevao, you'll be aware, was missing at the weekend. He went back home to deal with some personal family issues, but he was flown back specifically for this. Liam Rossinha was grateful and admiring of his attitude and his understanding of the importance of this football match. He could be the ace in the pack. Madueke, a surge away from Hato, supported here by Zubimendi. Gabriel. Capier.
I think Chelsea's back four are important here. I think Saliba and Gabriel can step in. I think the two full-backs can go forward. Timber needs to go now. Just go.
Madueke away from Cucurella. Just too heavy for Declan Rice to meet.
See what he's trying. He's got those runners in at the back post. Declan Rice, one of them.
Terrific at Leeds when called upon at short notice, Madueke. Everybody understands what Estevao can do, especially when he is fresh and those around him have played an hour or so in draining conditions. Heavy pressure from Gabriel. Taken up here by Gyökeres. Close quarters by Chalobah. Rice. Still made the block. This is looking like a conscious effort from Arsenal to get onto the front foot now at the start of the second half. Saliba. Gusto. Perhaps keeping it for Nkapie. Caicedo stepping into claim possession of the ball. This ball into midfield, protected by Fernandes, who was fouled by Zubamendi. Gusto's lost it. Martinelli couldn't keep it though from Fofana. Pedro was momentarily interested, but Zubamendi was short. So away from Madueke, who can chase again now. Awkward for Chalobah, and Hato made up the ground. And now Cole Palmer is up and down the touchline as if he means it. Time for a chat with Gabriel Jesus. They must have a bit of Manchester City past in common. Long from Rice. Martinelli is pumping towards it. Gusto keeps him at bay. Martinelli keeps the ball.
It's the battle.
Nkapie hauled off it by Talat, and that is out to go. João Pedro caught on it. Gabriel. Now Pedro slithers on the challenge. Chelsea have a free kick, and the game's got some teeth.
Feisty all of a sudden. Happy in the corner. There's a bit of foul, and then there's a little bit of play here with João Pedro, just clever.
Mikel Arteta has had something to say, and he has had his name taken.
What's he done?
Well, it looks as though Mikel Arteta wanted it to be a good-natured chat with Thomas Bramall. Perhaps his words were misinterpreted.
I think his laugh was misinterpreted.
Or not. João Pedro. Tackle from Rice. In the history of the Football League Cup, only 2 of 32 teams who won the first leg of the semi-final away from home went on to be knocked out. So history in that sense lends itself to the Arsenal cause here. A couple of very famous semi-finals actually that bucked that trend. And in 1972 when Stoke beat West Ham in a second replay, game in which Bobby Moore briefly went in goal and saved the penalty. Perhaps gone over.
To make predictions, and I have to say that I'm not particularly good at them, but if anything right now I'd be edging towards thinking Chelsea are going to get a goal in this game and it's going to come to life. It's just got that feeling about it.
That is the fear of the majority in here. So Fernandes with a Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, you can smell it, can't you? The sort of the home fans around us, they're quite close to us here, and they're a little uncomfortable.
It only takes a second. Perhaps this is Chelsea's second. So Fernandes, João Pedro, territory around the penalty spot. 3 centre-halves in the mix. And so Fernandes away by Rice. Hato charged down by Eze. And now Madueke can come herring out. And he is spinning out of play by Liam Delap, who pleads his innocence in vain.
It didn't look great from where we are, but we're on the opposite side of the pitch. Did he make contact? I'm not sure he did, actually. He's obviously seen the challenge, Madueke, and I think he just goes over. I'm not sure there's much in it. Maybe he stands on his foot.
This out of your picture now. Esteval and Cole Palmer have both been called back to the Chelsea bench. So the change of gear may be imminent. Truth, the game has shifted up a gear anyway at the start of the second half.
Interesting to see whether Liam Rossini changes the back five in the shape, or whether he just goes for the straight swaps. Probably put Enzo Fernandez back in midfield, take Santos off and take the lap off on this side.
Saliba has travelled a fair way. Madueke outside of him. Cucurella jockeying. Madueke into the arms of Sanchez.
Yeah, there's a bit of space there for him to come inside, wasn't there? Enzo Fernandez just didn't close that gap and get back in with him. To go over to take a centre back off Hato and keep an extra forward on and really open the game up.
Well, here they are, one from Manchester, one from Sao Paulo. Cole Palmer has not kicked a League Cup ball since the final of 2024. Hasn't been involved in this year's competition at all until now.
That's the point we've been waiting for. It's the point that Rossini has been waiting for. He's been talking about it pre-match. Looks like it's a 30-minute match.
Rice, Timber, Madueke. Bucharest hasn't given up on this. Trying to get between striker and ball. Chelsea were about to make their changes until Gusto went down here, so there's just a moment to take breath in case they have to alter their approach here.
Yeah, words coming through that it was Hato coming off and a lap, so that would mean that Chelsea would be into a back four. Wait for Gusto now and see what happens.
Fourth official is being involved here around the admin, which has become a little bit complex.
Go for 3 subs, Chelsea.
Well, here come the planned 2. Esteval for Hato, which does, as Gary's already suggested, indicate a probable change of shape. And Cole Palmer is replacing Liam Delap. And for now it is just those two. Pending any ongoing problem with Malo Gusto. So he is twisted.
Yeah. Enzo Fernandez in behind João Pedro, Cole Palmer here on this side to the right, and Estevao over on the left-hand side up against Timber. And then Chelsea revert to a back four.
Chelsea's substitutes have impacted more tellingly than any others across Europe. Lent into that, there is no whistle for handball. Slipped on by Jokeres for Madueke. Made the challenge, and Cucurella now from orthodox left back clears. And only now has Malo Gusto rejoined the piece as Jokeres threatens. Tipped over by Andre Santos and gets nothing forward.
It should become a little easier now without the third centre-back. It should open up.
Palmer from the 10 position. Estevao outside of him. Those two can make things happen. Chelsea have decided that now is the time to try and make things happen. Fofana. Gusto. Running it in Capier, who twitches it behind.
Substitutions, Chelsea have lost a little bit of height. Delap and Hato off.
Two remaining centre-halves there. Chalobah and Fofana are on the penalty spot. Estevao over their shoulder. By Enzo Fernandez. It's come all the way out to Marc Cucurella.
Well, they fancied it.
Well, he made a big impact as a substitute against West Ham, didn't he? And got the 2-2 equaliser in that 3-2 turnaround on Saturday night. It was all energy and zest. Forward by Gabriel, bounces off Jokeres. Cucurella.
It's fair to say that this game's been a struggle when it comes to attacking moments, but it's going to change now. You can see it already.
Now here's the boy, Estevao. Teasing Saliba. Enzo Fernandez high.
A couple of moments in that area, one for Cucurella and one for Enzo Fernandez, and you'd actually quite fancy him from there. It's a full court press for Chelsea now.
He's hitting the net regularly. 11-goal season for Enzo Fernandez. He's scored 3 in a row. Penalty at Palace, penalty at Napoli, winner against West Ham. Mendy had to hurry. It was an uncomfortable moment, and Chelsea have the throw.
See that 20 minutes ago, it is hard when you've not been playing well in a game and you've been playing slowly, all of a sudden just to flick a switch and think that you can turn it on.
Slip through for João Pedro. He couldn't offload. And Capier. 25 minutes here for Arsenal to keep their sheet clean, and they will be in the Carabao Cup final. The other way, he thought he was fouled by João Pedro, nothing doing. Caicedo, Pedro looking to run off the shoulder of Gabriel, who's asking him to get up.
Definitely not. Feels that hand on him and he goes down very easily, João Pedro. I just said about Arsenal keeping that sheet clean, and there's no doubt they're a team that are fantastic defensive. My gut feeling here is that what Mikel Arteta's thinking. He's talking to Gabriel Heinz. I'll be thinking, go and get a goal. I just feel like in these moments, the easiest way to kill this tie off is go and get a goal, and it's a risk not to think that way. And I think that's what he's thinking.
Mendy bursting. Gyökeres. Gusto got a piece of that. It's come to Capier, and Capier lifts it in, and Sanchez gets gloves on it and gets rid in a hurry for Caicedo. João Pedro. Gusto to take on Capier, and he did keep it in.
No, it wasn't.
Capier had a nibble. Gusto went to the ground.
Yeah, he should put Gusto.
Gusto is indeed having his name taken.
Yeah, I've got a great view of that where I am. He just knocks it, and he's nowhere near him. He just dives.
Gusto, simulation, yellow card. And the fury of 60,000 in red. And so yet one more who was once in Chelsea blue, seeking to make an impact for Arsenal. It's Kai Havertz. 22 finalists for Chelsea.
It's a massive struggle for Gyökeres. He's given nothing really. Can Havertz add something?
And Madueke is giving way here to Leandro Trossard.
Still need more from their forward players. Eze, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Madueke, not done enough at all. Trossard and Havertz are on. Can they change? What's going on up there?
Rice. Lifted away from Trossard, in went Havertz, down went Cucurella. Steered wide by Rice. Capier. Or the Fofana carried that behind. If he did, it wasn't spotted. It's sort of close to the line. Rice. Fofana. So Fernandez on the turn. Estevao wide of him. João Pedro through the middle. Timber's block. Steered himself away from Estevao, and Cucurella went fighting in, and Estevao is penalised. The boy wonders in the book.
Yeah, Timber just rolled him and was just stronger.
And there are 20 minutes to play. And still nothing on the night has changed. Which is largely, one supposes, as he imagined it. Cucurella. Kept by Fernandez for Palmer. Sifted up for Pedro, whose first touch showed a bit of it to Rice. Mendy. Rice has got long, much too long. Well, this is the guy who kept the tie alive with those 2 goals for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. He was one of those who only made it to half-time in the Premier League at the weekend. But he is certainly capable of moments. And Chelsea just need a moment.
Yeah, you'd think that would be Santos and Enzo Fernandez going back one, Estevao over here to the right and Iheanacho on the left. Give them a better balance.
Mendy flying in, Santos flying in, Chelsea's free kick, they're in a tearing rush now, but the referee's going to hold them up.
Estevao has just fouled him, he has just been booked. Santos is involved as well.
Santos challenge on Zubimendi, I think, which is concerning Peter Banks most of all. He's got a pair of captains in his ears.
It's a Santos one off the ball.
Here it comes, this is the one on Zubimendi.
I think he'll be off, yeah, he'll come straight off.
Taken off, as opposed to sent off, to be clear. I did observe the trip, but it wasn't worthy of bringing to the referee's attention. Santos gives way to Alejandro Garnacho as Liam Rossinha turns up the gas. Yet one more. Estevao from the other side. Palmer, João Pedro. Palmer kept from it by Rice. Had it snatched away by Estevao. Palmer looking to turn, it's all very tight. So often Mikel Arteta is living right on the edge. His only trophy with Arsenal, the 2020 FA Cup. 2-1 win against Frank Lampard's Chelsea at what then was an empty Wembley Stadium. Trossard slipped, as they can make good with the help here of Saliba. As they played it early, Martinelli couldn't catch it up. Havertz, Capier, Havertz, Eze, forced out by Chalobah, he's got a free kick.
Arsenal doing okay, they're controlling a bit of the ball. Chelsea not getting any momentum.
And Declan Rice conspiring.
I think they're going to do something on this side there, yeah.
Rice for Trossard, to worry Gusto. He's decidedly unworried. And Rice has claimed it back, and that's Zubimendi! Timber's header!
What a chance.
Gusto's challenge on Trossard.
It's a block by Cucurella. Whether he knows anything about it or not, I'm not sure, but he adjusts his position well, to be fair, the left back. He just gets in front of it. Gabriel can't believe that that's not ended up in the back of the net.
That was Arsenal's first shot of the second half. Here's Garnacho. João Pedro. Fernandes, Palmer, Caicedo, Palmer, Esteval, crunched away by Nkapie, Chelsea's free kick.
He's just about to take a hit, and it's Gabriel, isn't it, just getting back. It's a hell of a position for Cole Palmer, for Enzo Fernandez, whichever one of them fancies it. Big job to do.
Keeper has a wall to build here. Keeper also has an awareness of the threat. Chelsea have the very best available to them here. To grab back a ticket to Wembley. Cole Palmer was invented for moments like this. And the same may be said of Enzo. Cameras at the ready.
I actually think it feels more of a right footer, but whether they come to that conclusion or not, we'll see.
There's still a dispute about distances here and the proximity of Chelsea players to the wall. Remember the Eze goal for Palace against Chelsea very early in the season that was ruled out in those contentious circumstances. It's Cole Palmer into the wall. And Chalobah's screaming handball, corner given. There was a VAR check. No issue there. I was saying that the first one, the original shot into the wall, is checked and cleared. Now the follow-up shot from Chalobah needs looking at too. And that has passed muster also. It's just a corner that Enzo Fernandez has got to take. And by Enzo Fernandez for Fana. That's a cheeky one.
Gusto's down. Not sure really what to make of that. I think for Fana it's a tough one for him because he's past the near post.
Well, passed by the VAR. Nothing doing for Wesley Fofana. And if the Liam Rosenior master plan is going to come off, he needs a goal in the next 8 minutes.
Liam Rosenior has come to the conclusion before the game that he can't go at Arsenal for 90 minutes punch for punch or else he'll get beat up, so he's decided to make it a shorter game. Staying it is, once upon a time it was called a Mourinho masterclass. It's very important that it comes off. I think if you said to him before the match with 10 minutes to go it'd be 0-0 and have all my attackers on the pitch, he probably would have said, yeah, that's the way we go tonight.
Kept in well by Martinelli, but Trossard can't get onto it. Martinelli does nab it back. And Trossard can play it in. Cole Palmer kept it from Declan Rice. João Pedro turned expertly out of pressure. Esteval kept it in play. Cole Palmer ran into Eberechi Eze, and Eze is on the drive here. And he's found Martinelli. Martinelli's gone over. And the referee waves it away.
I think he gets the ball initially, but it's just the follow-through looked a little bit ugly. This is the aftermath, but he's lunging out, and definitely from where we were, see he gets the ball. It's just that follow, yeah, it's that left foot there. It's the follow-through that he takes a risk on. I think he'll get away with it, but it's a silly thing to do because he's made a good challenge initially. But when he sweeps his leg with that left foot, that's fine. It's that one there. But I think he'll get away with it.
Yeah, the VAR is saying it is checked and cleared. And in the words of James Bell, there is natural contact after he plays the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't natural. I mean, he sweeps his left leg up in the air, which he didn't need to do because he made a good challenge. It was always the follow-through that I felt was the danger for him. I see why it wasn't given.
Missed him out. Fofana. Chelsea are preparing Josh Achiampong to come on. by Chalobah, taken back by Caicedo. Chelsea said they were going to take this deep. This is now very, very deep. And the Arsenal crowd is doing its bit. Garnacho. They're still scheming. Caicedo. Fofana. Esteval. Into João Pedro. Subamendi let it bounce. Kai Havertz couldn't carry it away.
For Chelsea, they've got to try and break down the toughest team. Team defensively.
Fernandes. Esteval. Fofana. Played it in. Well, was hoisted it into the clouds. Senior's first touch wasn't up to much, but he is making a change. Chimpong for Gusto on the right side of their defence. Chimpong is directly into it. He's sent tumbling and he's got a free kick. Chelsea want to take it in a hurry. Two and a half minutes shy of the 90. Kitchen sink now from Chelsea. By Fernandes. Edged harmlessly behind for a goal kick. And tomorrow night, of course, the second Carabao Cup semi-final reaches its climax at the Etihad. City protecting a 2-goal lead against Newcastle. Winners of that meet the winners of this in the final at Wembley on Sunday, March the 22nd, 47 days from now on Sky Sports Football. Couldn't keep it. Martinelli did. Gabriel. Saliba long. Cucurella away. Garnacho. Caicedo, pitch is slippery, and Arsenal can go the other way. Havertz, Trossard. Timber. Trossard, a flick beyond Cucurella, but Garnacho read it. Enzo Fernandez out. Caicedo, Cucurella, he's run a long, long way tonight. Palmer. Enzo Fernandez got under it.
He tries to hit it so hard, Enzo Fernandez.
We've got 6 more minutes here. 6 minutes, Mikel Arteta could well do without. Well, they've had a run for their money at the very least, those Chelsea supporters. They have stayed in it.
There's a ball, come on.
And once again, there are 2 balls on the pitch. So Chelsea's immense frustration. Pedro, Zubimendi, has penned in. Sanchez got a fine touch.
Yeah, poor from Sanchez that. He casually sort of jogged towards it. It just gives Arsenal another minute off the clock, really.
Well, the last goal kick took more than a minute to take.
Oh, absolutely. If you've got a set piece in your Arsenal right now, you're certainly not rushing. It's been 2 minutes of nothing.
And right now, nothing suits Arsenal. Capier's throw. Trossard, Eze, Rice. Throwing for the record took 31 seconds. Charged down by Trossard. Sanchez has the ball in his hands and can hurry things up now.
Fafana's gone up top, Achampong's gone up top, so they are now throwing the kitchen sink at it. You see those Chelsea players grouping in the middle.
Fernandes, Cole Palmer, it's bounced out for Havertz. Trossard clung to it. Chelsea have it back with Caicedo. Chelsea with 3 minutes to force it into 30 more if they can. Esteval. Chalobah. Garnacho. Chasing up Martinelli. Chalobah. Fernandes. Chalobah. Garnacho. Caicedo. Aimed up at Garnacho. Away as far again as Trevoh Chalobah. And Palmer. And Fernandes. João Pedro going to ground, and Chelsea will have to come again.
Well, the Chelsea players over the far side. I think it was Chalobah and Garnacho. They've got to try and work a position to get across in. There's 4 or 5 of them in the middle.
Esteval. Fernandes, Palmer. Fernandes aimed up at João Pedro. Welcomed in by Fofana. Trossard stuck a foot in. Caicedo. It's just a throw. 90 seconds to find a way for the Blues. Cucurella, Caicedo. Picked off by Eze and lumped clear by Rice.
Maybe one more attack for Chelsea.
Enzo Fernandez to initiate that attack. Cole Palmer. Garnacho.
So
Rice
poor.
can break it up.
So poor from Garnacho. Really is.
Martinelli's after it. He's in a race with Sanchez, who wins that race. And there's still 30 seconds on the clock. Palmer. Fernandez. Chalobah, now or never for Chelsea. Esteval, they've got to get it in there. Caicedo. Esteval. Caicedo blocks from Trossard. Cucurella retains an interest.
Still recycling the ball. It's absolutely crazy. They can't work a position just to get across in the box.
Past 96, in by Caicedo for Farner's header.
And that's it. Look at those Arsenal players. They know that's it. They've kept that clean sheet. And Chelsea just haven't had enough, and Arsenal have withstood everything that's been thrown at them.
Still no whistle.
Oh, have they?
Cucurella. Out by Nketiah. On by Trossard.
He's in on the outside.
Rice to play it across. And Kai Havertz to send Arsenal to Wembley.
Oh, it's a pitch invasion by the players.
The ultimate climax. They clung on, and they pounced at the end. And a one-time Chelsea Blue has cracked it for the Gunners. And Liam Rosenior's master plan, which had legs for so long, is now dust.
Chelsea gambled everything. Fofana, Caicedo, Pedro, desolate. And right at the death, Arsenal have defended everything that Chelsea have had, which hasn't been much. Havertz ignores Martinelli. He's got the confidence to skip round Sanchez. And Wembley, here they come.
Time for Chelsea to restart, but nothing beyond. A beautiful headline moment for Kai Havertz, who's been absent for so long. Arsenal are Wembley bound. Mikel Arteta has his way. Liam Rosenior asked questions. It was a fascinating second leg in so many ways. It might have worked for Chelsea, but Arsenal were robust enough, and when eventually the only goal did come, in the final seconds, the dying embers of a dank evening in North London, it came Arsenal's way for Kai Havertz, and they win it not just by their first leg advantage, but as it turned out, Gary, by one goal more.
Yeah, it was a long old night for those Arsenal fans, having to watch a cat and mouse game, but they end, well, they sing their song, and they're going to Wembley, and Mikel Arteta has a chance to win his first trophy in a long, long while. He's clapping them, and for Chelsea, well, they tried the best they could, but it wasn't enough. Arsenal too strong for them defensively. And in the end, the best team won over the two legs.
So Arsenal League Cup finalists for the 9th time, and for the first time since 2018. And 47 days from now, Arsenal will go to Wembley looking to lift the famous three-handled trophy as last they did on that fabled day of Merson and Morrow 33 long years ago. Arsenal 1-0 on the night and 4-2 on aggregate.
And over the two legs, Jamie, that is deserved, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, how do you explain that game? It was really tough watch. You know, I could see what his plan was, Liam Rossignol, you know, to stay in the game as long as he could, bring on the big guns, and then hopefully something could happen in the moment, but it never transpired, you know, and they didn't have to do a lot. Arsenal weren't at their best. It wasn't a rope-a-dope at the end by any stretch of the imagination with that goal, but they were just so comfortable, you know, Arsenal. We just never really threatened them enough. A tough watch, but Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal side, and these Arsenal fans will not care a bit. They are in the cup final. It's the start of a massive end to the season for them, and a huge win.
You can feel the joy, you can feel the relief a little bit around here, can't you?
I'm numb. I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe what I just watched. I honestly can't believe what I just watched. I mean, Arsenal fans and Arsenal, the players themselves, this is Chelsea Football Club. You know, they've got international football players. They've got World Cup winner. They've got players all over. This is not a bottom four, bottom five team. They've just come there. I mean, it's crying. I mean, it should be crying because they never had a go. I mean, I'm lost for words. I cannot believe what happened. They've just gone out with an absolute wimp in the semi-final of a big competition. And if it worked, it was great, but it hasn't worked. And you can't gamble like that. Have a go and go out in a blaze of glory. Don't go out like that. I'm lost for words. Honestly, I'm lost for words.
Do you give Arsenal credit and they kept them at arm's length? They didn't really lay a glove on them, and you have to give Arsenal credit for that.
Of course, you have to give anybody that wins a semi-final of a cup. Of course, you credit them. They've done their job, but they're very strong. And Capia and Timber and Saliba and Gabriel, that back four must have thought, this is lovely. This is so easy. It's calm. You know, Kepa really got a bit of trouble a couple of times from set pieces, but never really any problems for him. And they were comfortable game, really, Arsenal. It was easy for them.
We'll go down onto the pitch, get some reaction from the jubilant Arsenal squad. Eberiche Eze is with Patrick Davison.
Well, Barry, you're on your way back to Wembley, this time with your boyhood club. Firstly, what does it mean to the team?
Yeah, it's so important. We've been working so hard, and I think when we're putting in performances like this, it's what we deserve, and yeah, for sure it's an exciting time.
These are the moments you come for, aren't they? Just enjoying these moments with the supporters?
Yeah, 100%. They were with us throughout the whole game today, so when we've got a stadium like this, it's very hard to play against us, and you can see it today. We enjoyed it, and it's an important victory for us.
Yeah, and your teammates might need to call on your Wembley experience now.
I'll be honest, this team is so good, we're so strong, and we're so confident as well, so we trust ourselves, we know what we've got, and we're going to keep pushing.
How good did you have to be tonight? And I don't know, maybe how different a match was it than you expected? I guess Chelsea won down from the first leg. Maybe you expect them to come sort of roaring at you, but it wasn't like that, was it?
Yeah, it was a bit different to what we expected, but we knew we had to adapt. We knew that there would be different types of games within the game, so I think we adapted well. We done what we needed to do, and we fought well.
And we know you have this in your game, but was it important to you personally to show the other side of your game today, like discipline, hard work, tracking back, all those things that, again, I know you've got?
Yeah, of course, that's what's required at this level, and especially in a team like this where everyone knows their role so well, so I'm just happy to do what I can.
Were you absolutely chomping at the bit when you knew you were starting?
Whenever I get an opportunity to play, I want to do my best and work hard, and yeah, today I was given an opportunity and I done what I could.
How much will it be in your mind now? Like, I don't know, was it 5-6 weeks? Fight for your place, get yourself in that starting 11 for Wembley.
Yeah, I think that's always the aim, regardless of winning the season. There's so many good players here, so you're always working to be in a team and to play and to get minutes. And yeah, for sure, that's what we do.
Well done.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
Cheers, pal.
Just confirmation then of what has happened over the two legs. Arsenal winning 3-2 at Stamford Bridge, 1-0 tonight. So they go 4-2 on aggregate. And tomorrow Newcastle have it all to do at the Etihad. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff as they try and come from 2 goals down. The final, as Patrick said, 5 or 6 weeks' time, March the 22nd, we'll be live from Wembley for that. This Sunday, the biggest date in the NFL calendar.
All we got is nothing. That's all we need.
May takes a shot downfield. Caught. Touchdown. Darnold. One-on-one. Smith and Jigba. Ooh, let's go.
Drake May sends New England to the Super Bowl.
The Seahawks soar to Super Bowl 60.
The real ones.
Cannot wait. Stories wherever you look. Join Neil and the team for the Seahawks against the Patriots, live from Santa Clara from 10 o'clock this Sunday evening. Sky Atlantic's latest drama is available now. Kelly Riley, Rafe Spall Under Saltmarsh. There is a new episode every Friday. Well, they left it late to get the goal here, did Arsenal. Kai Havertz got it against his former club. It was enough to win 1-0 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate. Arsenal now have a chance of lifting the Carabao Cup for the first time in over 30 years.